must not live forever, because human beings cannot change their minds about things. And if they cannot change their minds about things and they live forever, society will remain stagnant. It will not evolve. It will remain the same. And so for that reason, people must die so that new ones are born, so that change comes. And I'm talking to you right now in the leadership context. Leaders must die so that new ones come, so that change can happen. We are running our institutions. We are running our institutions with the mindset of the past, with the mindset of the past. And unfortunately, as leaders, sometimes we don't accept that our view of the world may no longer be relevant. But I must tell you guys, even though I have 17 years of working experience in corporate, as CEO, as whoever, I have 17 years of experience from a world that no longer exists. That world where I spent my 17 years, it doesn't exist anymore. And I can't continue to lead using that experience of the past. So mental agility is a leadership competency of the 21st century, which says, learn the art of changing your mind fast enough in order to lead. The second thing that they came up with at that investigation was baggage. Baggage. The smoke jumpers died because they could not let go of their baggage. And what is baggage? Their baggage was all of these things that they felt were a big part of their identity. And so they couldn't let it go, and they died holding on to those things. It said they were 30 minutes slower because of what they were carrying. And in leadership, again, baggage is what stops us from evolving. Yesterday, there were people here talking about AI and what it can do and what not, trying to move us to the next level. But baggage, you're not signing. Things cannot move when they've not come to my office. If everything happens digitally, people will not need me. Baggage. My importance will be diluted because of technology. My importance will be diluted because of technology. And then you miss all the benefits that can come with all of what has happened because you're stuck in the past, holding on to things that don't give value and that don't create value. The last thing that they identified, the third thing, is that 16 smoke jumpers died on that day fighting a fire that didn't need to be fought. Because 2 years later, the Mississippi Department of Science concluded that forest fires are necessary for the rejuvenation of the forest. So 16 people died fighting a fire that didn't need to be fought. And today, as I talk this subject of self-leadership, I want to challenge you to say, every single day as you're working, you must know that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, there will be new leaders in that organization who will say, but what was this fire all about? This added no value to this institution. But these leaders spent money on it. They spent time. What was this all about? The things you fight about and hold on to that don't yield results for businesses. There are a lot of things that we must rethink and ask ourselves, why do we do it? And why is it important? Now, as I speak here in front of you guys, one of the key leadership tenets is that you cannot lead others before you can lead yourself. You cannot lead others before you can lead yourself. For many years, as a concept to explain leadership. Right? Now, there are 4 boxes on your screen here. I want you to draw these 4 boxes for yourself because it's about to get very deep right now. And it's about to get very personal. Okay, so draw these 4 boxes for yourself. There's the box which says open self. Don't worry about what's inside. The box which says blind self. Box unknown self. This box hidden self. Right? And I'm going to walk you through them. The first box, the box that is written the open self. This box represents things about you that are known to everyone else and that you yourself know. So this is information about you that is in the open, that we don't need to doubt, that we are confident about, that we can see clearly. Are we together? Now, the whole concept of self-awareness says this box must be bigger than this one and that one and that one. So effectively, when you grow in your self-awareness, your open box becomes much bigger. Be another way to open that box. But you know, it's not just asking for feedback. It's also taking the feedback well. Are we together? When I was in Lafarge, one of the criteria that we used to measure whether someone had potential to become a CEO or not is how well do they take criticism. Because people who can take criticism well have a high ability to grow. Why? Because if people criticize you and you fight them, right? What will happen? People will stop criticizing you. They say, what was I doing in corporates? What was I doing? However, guys, if I had not been forced out of that job, I would not be here. Altogether, I would have worked until I was 65, and then at 65, it's 65. I would never have opened that box. And the reason why many of us never opened that box, let me tell you why, is that you went to the University of Zimbabwe to study. When you got there, during the times when we went to uni, I don't know what happens now. You didn't have the opportunity to choose a degree when we were going to university. You would get there, and then some university administrator would decide, this one is going to do accounts. That one is going to do law. That one is going to do psychology. So your degree that you have has nothing to do with your potential. Because the person who gave it to you doesn't know who you are. And yet you have shaped your whole life around that degree. And it has decided your whole life for you. You are missing a lot in terms of what you could do and the potential that you have. It's important, again, as we chase the issue of opening the unknown self, that we broaden our knowledge that we have. Many of you, and I don't want to name names, you do an undergrad degree in accounting, then you do a master's in accounting, then you do a PhD in accounting. Tanyadi accounts. By doing that, you are not increasing your breadth of knowledge. You are just narrowing your knowledge in a specific field. And it doesn't help you to open the unknown self. So if you want to open the unknown self, choose this path where as you increase your educational qualifications, you broaden the area of expertise. And when you do that, you start to discover new things. Because going a lawyer, I'm not going to. You're a top student. You were an engineer. All together. And then you start to realize, I'm actually quite good at this. is why you don't get to the top. For you to get to the C-suite, you need breadth of knowledge, not depth of knowledge.